So over here. Oh. So this is a Project Drift car, 97 BMW Z3, currently automatic, but we got the manual swaps. That's not it. Somewhere over there. Manual swap is ready to go, but I had a situation where the valve cover was leaking. I had a misfire. Still has a misfire, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. I deleted the PCV, put what's this called, OBD1 magnesium valve cover, not aluminum, cannot be welded at all. Then we have, this is an M56 valve cover right here, also supposedly magnesium, but I feel like this is a different kind of alloy, because this valve cover right there I was able to weld. This one right there, not at all, just burning holes in it, nothing getting stuck to it. So I just had to JB weld a dash stand. I didn't have a bulk fitting. Yeah, you can just put a bulk fitting in it, put another on the other side. Didn't have a bulk fitting, plus from the welding it fucked up the service pretty nice. So didn't have it in the spot, and the valve cover was leaking and it needed to be done right away. So I put it on with the JB weld. I think it's gonna be just fine. Bam. Yup. That's the rat killer right here. But anyway, back to the Z3. So the misfire. Ever since we got the car for 500. Had a misfire cylinder 3. So we put spark plugs and coil packs in it from a different car known to be working. Still had a misfire number 3. Swap the coil packs around, still misfire number 3. Swap the spark plugs around just in case, because it was used spark plugs. Still misfire on 3. So I went to check the injector pulse. The injector was firing, and then it wasn't firing, then it was firing. So it was weird. Then I went to check for I checked the power on the injector. Was good power, obviously. This is all the powers, and the DME sends the ground signal to the injector to open it. So all the grounds from the injectors go to the DME harness in here. So I checked, and I did a continuity test on it. It checked out fine. I did resistance. There was no resistance, barely any. Then I checked for power at the coil pack. We had good power and ground, but there was no signal at all. So once again I checked the continuity on the harness. Continuity checked out good. This is the DME connector, and this is the culprit right here, guys. I'm about to show you. So this is OBD2 MS41, and that's the transistor, that's the coil driver. One of them is burnt up, and so if you look from the right to the left, that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would need to change 2 if I want to bring back this ECU. I can technically easily bring it back because it's only 3 legs that will have to solder, but the issue is I need to find this resistor, and they're already discontinued. There is a number that supersedes it, but I would just rather find either another DME, or if I can find a bad DME like this that might also have one burnt out or whatever, and just take it from there and solder it in here. I also have absolutely no problems just going ahead and buy a used DME from a different car. This is a MS41. I can easily flash it with a EWS delete and put a tune on it, but I kind of want to keep the original DME with the car, so it'd be nice if I could save it. So I'm gonna be looking for that MOSFET. It's definitely discontinued. I already looked it up. There's a couple people on the forums had issues with these, where these burn out, especially on the M3s. So it's a common problem apparently on these cars. Another thing that's possible, I could technically delete all 6 of these and run out the coil packs with some modification to the circuit board. I will have to make an external circuit board, because Audi coil packs, I believe, have the drivers built into the coil packs, so it would just need a 5-volt and a signal trigger from the DME, which is what these legs are. So I think you've got to take these legs away, and well, there's a whole DIY on how to do it. Just have to find out. but most likely we're just gonna stick to the original coil packs because there's nothing wrong with those, and we can upgrade to B58 if you wanted to. But here's another problem I ran into putting this valve cover on the OBD2. The studs on it are the other way, so what you have to do is you have to remove the studs, put the coil in, drill and tap the new places for the studs. So I did here, already drilled and tapped, and the other 3 cylinders pretty much fit. You would just have to do some, either drill out the coil pack a little bit or spread out the studs a bit for the coils to sit down. And this is the number 3 cylinder. This is the one I've been diagnosing. I also did compression test on it. Compression test came out perfect, 180. So that's why I knew it was electrical problem, which is DME. For me, this is the first time I'm coming across where the igniter to the coil burnt. I've done so many of these cars, I've tuned so many of these cars, and I've never personally had igniter burn out. So this is like something new to me. Obviously that coil pack, I think it was this one right here, this bad boy, yeah, 97. So this is the one from this car. This is the one from cylinder 3, and that's what happened to it. So I guess this caused right here the DME to let go. Alright, to make sure we don't touch that again, it's out in the garbage. But now, so basically I gotta do is I gotta find another DME or solder a transistor to it. But while I'm searching for a DME, or while my friends might bring me one, I gotta take out the differential out of this car because we have a limited slip to go in it, which is right there. I know this car is still auto. I know it's needs a lot of reinforcement in the rear to be sliding safely without ripping out the chassis, but we're gonna get there because for now I just want to put the limited slip in it, fully kill that automatic transmission. It's already dead, but I want to fully blow it up, like fully. It's got to do a donut, or at least something. It's got to do something. Now that the motor is gonna be running good, this guy gotta do something. So what we're gonna find out right now is we're gonna jack it up and see how rusted the bolts are to the diff, because my friend already started the job and he said those pretty stuck in there. So I guess I'm gonna give it a whirl right now. I'm going to jack the car up and get under it and see what's going on. But in reality, what we're gonna do is when we're gonna be doing the manual swap, most likely we're gonna pull the motor out with the whole drivetrain, refurbish the motor, oil pan seal, remain seal, all the seals on it. That we're gonna do the valve stem seals, but who knows. Motor mounts, some suspension components. Then on the rear end, we're gonna drop the rear end and we're gonna do the poly bushings in the rear end as well, probably from Rev9. They got them on their website, pretty cheap. So we're gonna probably stick those in the rear of this car and do some fabricating in the trunk so it doesn't rip the floor out. And that should be, and oh yeah, and this car has a massive exhaust leak, so I'm gonna show you when it's probably gonna be running. It has a bad exhaust leak right under here, so the exhaust is fully rotted out, regular stuff. So had to cover the convertible top because the cat took a liking to it. So yep. Yo, Lamb, fuck you for fucking up my top, man. Why you do that to me? Alright, let me jack this baby up and we'll see what's happening. So here we go, under the car. Here's the open diff. Here we got one of the situations right here. Well, I don't know, I guess the bolt was loose and this happened, but that's okay, it's all right. So I got the drive shaft nuts loose, and my friend got a couple of the bolts on top loose, but this one right here, it's up top over there. Let me send the camera. Yeah, that bad boy, I can't get a nice wrench on it with enough leverage to pop it loose. So what we're gonna do is, there's something in the way here. So this is a spare wheel cage that holds a spare donut. We don't have it. So where we're going, we don't need it. So what we're gonna do, you see guys, this plate right here, and this is where it all mounts. I can realistically maybe spend some time to get apart, but the bolt is pretty rusted over there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make ourselves a lot of clearance right now. We're gonna just yeet it with the Sawzkey and cut it off. Sawzall ready, brand new blade ready, cutting about to commence. Okay, make sure there's no fuel lines, nothing like that. Spare wheel tire cage is gone. We got a lot of clearance now. I'm about to chop some more of this off. I have even more clearance now. Let's see. Alrighty. So the bracket that holds the spare wheel is pretty much cut out. When we rebuild the rear end, we're gonna come back here and do a lot of reinforcement so we don't rip out the floor, because that's a common issue with these cars. But for now, just to put the diff in it and do the swap, this is gonna be out of the way. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Also, I'm about to cut this off, insulate that hole. And this part right here, you can unbolt it from the trunk. But while I'm taking the diff out, I just yapped it over the Sawzkey. Make it easier, faster. So now I can put a ratchet and get to that 19 and start taking the rest of the diff bolts off. I'm just going to loosen that top one off.
finish taking off the rest of the axle on this side, and the differential is gonna be ready to come down maybe in like 15-20 minutes.
Alright guys, like maybe not 15 minutes later, but like 45 minutes later, because this axle bolt was tighter than anything else on this car. And even when you break them loose, they're still coming out tight. So yeah, finally beat that. Was able to go on top and get those bolts over that bolt over there loose. Basically all four of them on top is loose. So I jacked the diff already, and realistically I should be able to take them out now with an open end wrench, easy peasy, and fish this diff out. So I'm gonna set the camera out somehow, some way, so you can guys see what's going on. Let's see where I can stick this phone in. Okay, differential is loosey. Now it should be simply just come down on the jack without it dropping on my fingers, I hope, and hurting me in the process. The boy's out. There you go. Just like that, guys. 15 minutes of fighting after I already loosened up everything for you, and it was still a little ass, but that's what you do when you gotta lift and you're doing it on a jack stands. But it's down. Now I gotta crack this one open. Looks like the flanges are different, so I gotta do the flange swap. Hopefully that works. I gotta pop the back cover, change the oil in it, drain the oil. I got the oil for it. I got the gasket maker for it. Limited slip. You see, guys, both this one and this flange spin the same way. Limited slip. And when you got this piece of shit, oh wait a second, this one spins the same way. I might have to crack this one open, but I don't think this is actual limited slip though. We'll see though. So here we have the cover. I cleaned up the cover a little bit, so I actually do what it's supposed to do. Put the gasket already. The new gasket is on, guys. There's the rest of it right there. So yeah, this is actually ready to go on here now, like so. Let's see. It'll go like that. And I can send a couple bolts in it now. Well, we're gonna come back in a second. Alright, the cover is back on the diff. Just gotta put the speed sensor in. I gotta get a new seal. Had to clean up the hardware a bit because the socket was a pain in the ass to put on. So here's the tag, 373 ratio, limited slip. So what we're gonna do, I cleaned up all those tags and everything so they don't rust. Well, we got this smoke gray. Do we have any clear here? Let's see, gloss black, no. Painted powder, no. Matching powder, no. Fuck, we're about to send some of this in there so it doesn't rust. I might as well hit the cover. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it doesn't corrode and give me problems later down in life. Should be good enough, fellas. Now, stick the sensor in it after I clean the hole with some brake cleaner. And I got the bracket for the sensor drying up right here. Cleaned the rust on it too, painted it black. So we're about to send it on like so. Well, this seal actually feels good. I'm about to clean it and send it back. And I'm pretty much done for today. I'm about to leave. I got a customer I gotta go to, and then next day I'm gonna come back and put the diff in, and it's gonna be dry already to put oil in it. So I'm not gonna put oil in it just now, but I am gonna take out the fill plug just in case one of my friends decides to put it in and they don't know that if there's oil in it or not. So I'm just gonna leave the drain plug, fill plug out. But about to reassemble the sensor, and that's it for the day. So the next day, the diff is already in, guys. Let me show you. There you go, bolted up, axles, everything bolted up. Pull the battery out. I also put the DME back, put the spark plug back, put the coil plugs back. It's still gonna misfire number 3 because I did not change the DME yet. I only took it apart. I actually desoldered the burnt transistor. The fucker somewhere here on the floor. But so I decided with this gun real quick. Where is it? There's some like pieces to the DME. I don't need them right now, but when I finally get the new transistor, that we're gonna put it all back together how it's supposed to go. So for now, just get it out the way. But yeah, we're pretty much there. Here's the key. I'm gonna show you. Here's actually one leg of that transistor. If you focus, you fuck. Of course it. But yeah, that's one of the prongs from that transistor, 3-prong transistor. I got them on eBay. They're in the mail, coming in a week. Hopefully I can find another computer for this car. Meanwhile, just to put it in, I can code it, put AWS delete tune on it. I can even read this DME and technically copy all the data and clone it and put it everything on the new one, the used DME I can get. But for now, I still want to fix this DME by just soldering another transistor in it and see where that goes. But if I get another DME before the transistor, then I'm just gonna tune another DME in it, put it in, and we're gonna go test drive it. I'm 100% positive the automatic transmission is blown because it is in park and the drive shaft is free spinning. So it's like it's not catching park, and that's weird. I tried to adjust the shifter cables, nothing. So I'm pretty sure it's smoked. It's got 226,000 miles. The engine got perfect compression. It's very clean under the valve cover. It's not even brown. It's gold, barely goldish. It's aluminum goldish. I've barely seen engines that clean. So that's very good. It's whoever had this car, the guy that had this car before, took good care of it. I swear to God, it even had original BMW spark plugs in it, original coil packs in it. But I guess the original coil pack is what caused this whole situation to almost go in flames. So this is where this car is gonna be at. I'm about to drive it out the shop. I got another customer with 335. Gonna be a small separate video. That's like a disaster struck him. But for this car, basically now we're waiting for the DME